It's going live. Hey! And welcome to yet another episode. Are you saying it along with me?
Absolutely.
You're going to episode of Witches and Wine. This is our 50th episode. Woo!
50.
We got to click and drink this even before we... Wait, I'm going to do the tumbler. No. All right. No tumbler.
No,
50th
use the
episode.
good one.
This is the good one.
We're drinking out of crystal and everything
50
tonight.
episodes. Woo-hoo. You guys got to drink when you clink. Clink and drink. Drink is the most important part.
Oh,
Mm.
God, that is
Yummy,
so
Oh,
good.
my God. Oh, do you have the bottle?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course he has the bottle.
So welcome to yet another episode of Witches and Wine. This is the show where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine, clink and drink.
In case you didn't know, we drink wine.
And yes,
Please don't judge us for drinking wine. We freely admit what we do.
This show is called
witches
and Wine.
wine. Disclaimer, we drink wine. We get tipsy. So there's episodes of us where we're more than tipsy. If you find this drunkenness offensive, there's this thing called Don't Watch Us. So
Amazing.
it's weird how that works out.
It's
So-
sort of like with the Facebook thing where you keep scrolling.
Yes,
Yeah.
just keep scrolling.
Just don't.
Just
you
be
get
like,
there's
Oh,
a
God,
little
that's so
X
yummy.
just be
up
like,
at the right of your screen.
just
You
be
can see
like,
it right up there, and you can just click it.
Feel free to be offended. It's not like you're gonna die.
It looks kind of like this.
okay. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Lola Stardust. And before we get to our plethora
Subject matter.
of subjects, I'm going to turn it over to my partner in crime, Silent as Stardust. He's going to talk about the wine that we're drinking. It's a special wine he's been saving for this 50th episode. So why don't you tell us about the wine? Because it's super
It's
good.
really good.
So
my
tonight
God.
on Witches and Wine, we have brought the most expensive bottle we have ever shown on the show tonight. This is called Black Cordon. It's from the Napa Valley. It is made by the famous winemaker Paul Hobbs.
Honey, you got to hold it up more. I'll hold it up for you because
Yeah.
people might want to.
Yeah, it's called Black Cordon. It's made by the famous Napa winemaker Paul Hobbs. He's a legendary winemaker for Cabernets. Really dark, rich, dry, elegant. This is not your average bottle. This isn't even your above par. This is exemplary. This is a 94-point rated Cabernet. Runs you between $90 and $120 a bottle based on where you're at in the country. If you ever want to have a bottle that is to present for the best dinner, or your best steak, your best prime rib, this wine will do it for you. Really, really nice, deep blackberry
Oh my God,
cassis
so
notes.
good.
A long, drawn-out finish, very oaky. This wine is something to enjoy and savor. So please, if you can enjoy it, pick it up. Give it about 20 minutes of air in a decanter. Let it breathe a little bit. And then it is just, yum.
It's so good.
Really,
Oh,
really yummy.
Yeah.
Almost orgasm in a
It's
glass.
like yummy with a cake. It's
So
super
we
yummy.
probably shouldn't say orgasm with our kid crawling across the floor, but we're his parents.
Drop the
So
whiskey.
I'm going to go ahead and step out now. We're going to bring our normal guest host in, Isleen, and you will see me and Donna in the background continuing to partake of this fine nectar of the gods.
Fine wine. Oh, we have a
Fine,
little
fine
decanter.
wine.
Yep.
We're
And-
fancy folk.
and-
We're moving on up. Moving on up to fancy decanters.
And this wine should definitely be decanted before you serve it. Out of the bottle, it's going to be very
it
tight
can't
flavored.
be undecanted.
All right. Well, you guys have fun from here on out, and
Oh, the box.
we hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Yay! Thank you, honey. Give me a kiss. Mwah.
Smoochy, smoochy.
Your lips taste like wine.
Wine.
Weird.
That's
Imagine
Hello. It's been like a month. It's been a month since we've done an episode, and let's just explain why real quick. Life. Just
Life is a thing.
it happens, and here's a good lesson to learn in life, not just Wicca, but in life. Your life and everything, you don't owe anybody any explanations. You got to do what you got to do to get through stuff. And I'm saying this for me. I felt guilty because I was not focusing on the show as much as I should. But the last time I talked, we talked about my dad, stroke, stuff like that. There are people in my coven that have stuff going on. We have a coven sister in the hospital right now. We love you. Get
And
better.
the more people you add, the more life happens.
Yes.
Because you have 8 lives, 9 lives
keep
you
track
whatever,
of
to keep
and-
track of.
yeah.
And we're not cats. How do you know?
I think
Whoa.
we kind of are.
You have now, but you're not cats.
So anyway, but this is a joyous celebration. 50 episodes. We would have reached 50 a month ago, but tonight the stars and the planets aligned. We were able to do this. So we wanted to make it really special. So I put out on Facebook a couple groups what kind of topics they'd like to see. And then I realized, I was like, well, we could touch upon like a little bit on all of them. So
You're getting the poo-poo platter.
yes, the poo-poo platter. Oh, we froze. Well, we aren't froze, but look at that. Whoa. I was all like, let's freeze and see if they think we're froze. Everyone freeze. Of course, Don removes his head. All right. So anyways.
She wasn't complaining last night.
The camera wasn't pointing down.
Ding, ba-dum-bum. Okay. So one of the topics, and this is actually something that me and one of my oldest, dearest friends were thinking of doing a whole show on because we're such music freaks. But Celine from Spokane Magical Moot her suggestion was about music and your spirituality, like creating Spotify playlists for your deities. Me and Isleen know a lot about this because we do it all the time, and we
do it
share
all the
our
time.
playlists. And
We both have different chakra playlists.
Yes.
We both have different deity playlists. I
Yes.
know I have what I call like devotional deity playlists. Like
Mhm.
Hera has her own playlist. She's very country
I don't
in
have
my experience.
deity ones. The only deity one I have is Hecate.
Ah.
And I have a Persephone one.
I have Persephone,
Yeah.
I have Hera, I have all the Greek gods,
Yeah.
and then I have Callie doesn't have a lot, but she has a couple songs.
Yeah.
There's at least one.
Oh,
or
and I
two
have
on there.
Lilith.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have a
just made
Lilith one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I know I have most of the Greek. I have like the Greek 8.
Yeah. And then I have the Sabbats. We make playlists for the
Yeah,
Sabbats.
I have the Sabbats too.
But then, what I've noticed is there's a lot of pagan music out there that fits perfectly. There's so much pagan music. But I don't, and the same with her, and many of my friends, we don't just listen to pagan music. We listen to everything. And so what I like about what I do with my spirituality, and I know Isleen does, and whoever's watching, if you do this, is there's music we've been listening to our whole lives that is witchy music, but it may not be your typical witchy music.
I also
You know what
really
I mean?
enjoy, especially with my gods playlist, like the Greek deities playlist. I enjoy some of the contemporary music that fits them.
Yes.
That still fits them.
That's
And
what I'm saying.
What's so funny is I'll be like having a conversation with them or doing invocation work or just in the shower kind of thinking about that deity, and I'll get this download, for a better term,
Yeah.
of like, you should add this song.
Yes. And sometimes it only makes sense to you.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's the thing I
That's
love
the thing.
about
And
it.
I even blog about it at one point in time because I had made elemental playlists.
Yeah.
So I had done like a blog about working with fire, and it was all fire burning, and I had done a blog about working with water.
Yeah.
And then Spirit was very much like, go, young child, and go out into the world and create your spiritual playlist, because Spirit is so tailored to you.
Absolutely. It's us. It's me. It's you. It's and a really good example is I was listening because our sophomore year at the Wiccan seminary, we worked with the chakra. So like you did, I would make
I have a red
chakra,
playlist and a
yeah.
yellow.
chakra playlists, and I was listening to my Crown one today, and I Am the Walrus came on by the Beatles. And I'm thinking, if someone, because I will share them with some of the sophomore students, and I'm thinking, I know some of them are probably going, what the hell? But
What
for
does this
me,
have to do with the Crown crown chakra.
It made so much sense to me. I don't know what it was. I mean, I could sit here and explain it, but that would take forever. But it resonated with my crown chakra. It made me feel like because
you released your cuckoo.
my cuckoo went, "Ah," and I envisioned myself opening up the crown and becoming like John Lennon or just this guy that's just singing about this really
I'm
obscure...
really feeling like a Kurt Cobain vibe.
Yes.
For the crown, like, or third eye, like kind of both.
Yeah, my third eye and my crown playlist was my two favorites to make. And then of course, Islene and I have a thing, which if you don't understand it, then you've been under a rock. We associate Jim Morrison with Dionysus. And if you don't get that reference, then you're not the Lizard King and you can't do anything. So anyway, so yes, music is really important in our spirituality. I know for me, just being a music freak, you know, we could go on about, we could do a whole show on just music.
I like the joke, not necessarily joke comment, but like Thorn the Witch, who is also on YouTube, and she talks about like, if Britney Spears is what you need for ritual, that's okay. Because it's all about what you need to get in that mental and headspace, the right headspace.
There were, when we would, in school, when we would, before the Sabbats, I believe, I don't know if juniors didn't do a lot of, oh yeah, you invoked gods and goddesses.
Yeah, we did a few.
But for Sabbats, we did, I worked with Persephone a whole year and invoked her.
The first half, but but you know, that's neither here nor there.
One of the things that I would do, just as an example, is I would listen to music that made me think of Persephone. That's what made me make my playlist for her, because it was all the music that, for whatever reason that night, the hour before getting prepared, getting ready to invoke, whatever, I would just meditate on her and just be like, and she would just say a song title, and I'm like, okay. I would just listen to it, and I'm like, okay, this is me and Persephone's song.
That's why I say, like, a lot of times it would happen in the shower, because I'm kind of in that liminal space, sort of, and so I would be outside of my mundane chores, and thinking about other things, and I would be, you know, also water.
Yeah,
water just does that.
It's a conduit for a lot of.
So I'd be in the shower, and I get a lot of stuff where it's like, you need to add this to this playlist. You need to add that to that playlist. Also, if I was doing any invocation work, because we did a lot of that sophomore year, you invoke for each chakra. You like kind of pick a god for each chakra, and you invoke them for that time period.
Yeah.
So I would be working with them, and sometimes I would just get, like I said, I call it a download, where it'd be like, you need to add this song, and I just wouldn't fight it. I just add it to the playlist.
Yes,
it has a meaning to me.
And that's the thing is that's how Nene, my dog. That's how it should be. It should be whatever speaks to you personally, because for whatever reason, that song, and it could be the lyrics, it could be the title, it could be just the instruments, or even just like one line of that song could just be like, oh my god, that is so Hestia, or, you know. And
Hestia for me likes a lot of country, and I'm not a huge country fan, but
and that makes sense.
She's so country.
I could see her at home in the kitchen, you know, like, I love this Luke Bryan song, and then like putting it on and making the biscuits, and like, just, you know, and people coming in and she's feeding them, and I could totally see that.
Hera liked a lot of country, but Hera's country is very
pop
heartbreak, and
yes,
I love this boy, but he is not true to me.
Stand by your man.
I don't think I've added that one, but I really should.
Or Jolene. That's Hera.
That's Hera.
Please don't take him just because you can.
No, that's not Hera, because Hera will fucking get revenge.
Oh, she will,
but she also loves him.
She'll give you an opportunity first.
Yes.
She's like, he's mine.
Well, no, but
step away.
Unlike Dolly is just fearing to lose her. When Hera, she's like, I'm gonna get mine afterwards.
Yeah.
You do this, know that my shit's
You
coming.
take my man because you can.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you.
Big difference between the two of them. Dolly's a sweetheart.
I know.
May not
Yeah.
necessarily be a sweetheart.
Aphrodite is Robin's Call Your Girlfriend.
Yes.
Aphrodite is
That
my
is 100%
longest
true.
playlist because so much music is about love.
But Aphrodite playlists
Dude, we need to play that after this.
are like huge. But anyways,
They're really long.
we could go. That's what she said. We could really go on about music. I think this is going to be a separate show. And thank you, Celine from Magical Moot, for suggesting that. And I'm sorry if I can't remember who suggested a lot of these because I'm
she took
unorganized.
notes, but not the best notes.
I know, but I still took notes. So another topic that came up was which of the many lords and ladies are most prominent this time of year, and which wine do they prefer? So Phil, we need you because this is kind of a wine question.
Wine question.
So what we're
The
talking.
winos here.
So, and I think this might have been, I want to say Erilyn, our friend, I think this was hers.
Okay, what was the question?
So it's which of the many lords and ladies are most prominent this time of year, and which wine would they prefer? So let's talk about who's prominent this time of year. We're in the dark time of year.
Hades.
Hades,
Hecate.
Hecate, Morgan, your dark goddesses.
So this time of year.
Oh wait, hold on. Can we get to the? He's all excited.
Well,
about wine.
no, because there's a universal rule with wine in this time of the year that would apply with these gods and goddesses, because they're all of the darker, more robust, more detail orientated.
Someone's watching.
Yeah, we had to watch it the whole time.
Oh,
Hello, watcher.
Hello, watcher.
We appreciate your viewing.
Who are you? Say hi on the chat. Anyways, so dark time of year. So what's the rule about wine?
The darker the days, the darker the wine.
That makes sense.
So it needs to be this color.
Yeah. If you can see through it, it's not the wine you should be drinking this time of year if you're a red drinker.
Pretty much the same with beer.
Yeah.
It's like black.
Yeah.
And black.
Blackest of the black.
Well,
Like blood.
you treat wines like you treat your beers, like you treat your days. If it's brighter and lighter, have the wines follow suit. If it's darker and colder, have the wine and beer follow suit. You need more robustness. You need stuff that's going to be heartier, that's going to keep you warm, that's going to make you feel more fulfilled instead of lighter and easier flowing.
Well, what I've found working with Hecate, and we've all kind of come to this agreement, and this is not, we know this about Hecate. This is just our personal work with Hecate.
UPG. Unverified personal gnosis,
There
although
you
in
go.
some cases it's somewhat verified by other members.
Other
Yeah.
people we've talked to, but Hecate's not a big fan of wine, which is really weird for me because I work with her a
She
lot,
would like this though.
and I love wine. Yeah, I think she'd really like this.
She would like this,
But
because
she
it's
does
a
like
sippy
whiskey.
wine.
She does like her
She
liquor.
likes her whiskey. She
So does
really
Bridget.
does. Yeah. Oh
does
God.
Bridget.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
my god.
So like, if you want to make an offering to Hecate, either a really deep, dark red wine.
We have a second guest. Thank you for joining us, second guest.
Hi, second guest. I don't know. Say hi in the chat. Let us know who you are.
Some grapes,
Bart.
some grapes or wines that would be appropriate for this time of year. Cabernets, Bordeaux, and Nebbiolos, and Barolos,
And
and maybe Tempranillos if you're a Spanish wine drinker.
thank you, honey.
Yep.
So, and what I'm thinking is this time of year offerings to our dark gods and dark goddesses would be deep red wines, like almost raw meat,
Again,
Like-
it's that
like thick,
Whoa.
like yes,
channel your inner vampire.
yes, like bloody meats and just
They
really,
want it rare.
yes, really
It's a good
rare.
modern substitute for the blood of your enemies.
Absolutely, yeah, and
Why can't it be the one and the same?
the blood of your enemies and red meat.
Because that
I've
comes,
seen Walking Dead.
that comes after Yule.
Yes,
Yule is all
Yes.
bright and happy again, but
Yes.
right now is the dark time. So of course, me as a priestess of Persephone thinks Persephone, but in her darker aspects,
Well,
like the underworld aspect.
not Kore, Persephone,
Persephone,
queen of the underworld, Persephone. Yeah, she would be the blood reds, foods,
Very
wines,
much reds and blacks.
Yes.
And like I picked up the Pinot Noir because I associate that more. She likes the Cab Sauv too, but she likes the Pinot Noir
Yeah.
a little bit more.
There was a wine that we had. What was that wine called with the really cool label? It was like something creatures or.
No.
It's back there. Want to grab it? It's my Hecate bottle.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what it's called.
You know what? It's right up. No, on the other side. Other side. I used to. I haven't done this in a while. It's right there with the skull thing hanging on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Come bring it over here.
Curious Beast.
No, bring it over here. I want to show.
It is correct. Yes, Curious Beast.
So this one was one of my first wines that I associated with Hecate. I drank. Well, just look at it. I mean, the cover and everything. And then this is what.
That would also be like Santa Muerte.
Yes. And this influenced me to. This is really dusty, but actually the dust makes it look even more.
It's better.
And then I put candles in it, so there's wax, and
With
I tied
the pretty
ribbons.
spider lace and the...
Yes, it is. It's just like it's so dark, and this is one of my wine bottles.
Dark
I love
and
it.
twisty.
And so, anyways, but yeah, there's all sorts of dark wines, and if you're interested in finding out more, we do have our wine connoisseur, Silenus, who can answer all of those questions because he is a professional wine connoisseur at his job. We're not supposed to mention where he works. But yes, those of you who know us locally knows where he works. So, anyways, that's
it's
a
place
great
with wine involved.
Yes, there's wine.
Should narrow it down a little bit.
So here we go. Someone said that I know this was Nico Shadowski. Nico, I love you. Shadow Sky. I will always forever call you Shadowski.
Just like we are Stardew.
We're Stardew days. The tradition of Christmas that were pulled from Yule traditions. So we're coming up on Christmas, and Christmas is probably with one of the most pagan, well, not one of the most, but one of the most commonly known, because I even know Christians who will say, oh yeah, we stole this from the pagans. Like they even know.
Here we go.
Rustling among the leaves of green. Here we go. I don't know the words to do the beat. I've been trying to come to you and to you. And have a happy new year. Drink some beer. And wine. Clink and drink.
That was pretty terrible. Waffling, decorating a tree. Decorating a tree. Because the idea of decorating a tree was sort of, I'm trying to think of what the best, it's kind of like honoring the goddess.
The tree is the
winter
goddess
aspect, and you're decorating her and saying, I'm putting you up on this pedestal, sort of.
Well, there's the whole Diamystica thing with Demeter, bringing her in, keeping her warm, and adoring her with jewels.
Adorning her with jewels. And that's sort of, that's where the decoration of the tree comes from. That's why you get some Christians that will use, like, especially in the Niv version, I believe, of the Bible, where it will say, like, you shouldn't decorate a piece of wood from the forest. It's so funny because I've read this in a couple of different ways, where it's like, well, it could be a carved fucking clock.
Yeah, right?
Because it's like, do not decorate a piece of wood from the forest and honor it in the wintertime. So some Christians do not decorate the tree. They do not have fun with that Christmas aspect because they see it as pagan. Meanwhile,
they still have trees. They don't realize what they're doing. They're taking it literally and go, well, we're not going out and taking a piece of wood
from the
forest and decorating it.
Then
we're taking a tree and decorating it.
Is it a tree or is it the Yule log?
Yeah,
is the question, because you have the tradition of the Yule log where you would kind of decorate something and then burn it for, is it the full 12 days of Christmas?
I believe so, yes. It's 12 days.
You burn it for however,
and you're supposed to be
amount of time.
Burning away your
12 days of Christmas.
Years.
FYI, it's actually the 12 days after Christmas.
Oh.
It's not the 12 days leading up to Christmas.
No, the first day of Christmas is Christmas.
It goes until January, like
Well, we got
Sometime in
25,
January.
25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. January 5th, which I
Yeah.
believe.
January 5th was.
What is that? That is a date of something. That is Saturnalia? No,
I
that's
can't remember.
That's.
I want to be like asking the Google Home.
Okay, Google. Google.
Hi, how can I help?
She recognizes drunk talk. What is significant?
Sorry, I'm not sure how to help with that.
You waited too long.
Okay, Google. What is January 5th known for? We'll find out.
Let's see if she knows.
On the website thepeoplehistory.com, they say, born this day in history the 5th of January. Charlie Rose, best known for the Charlie Rose syndicated on PBS, where he
I don't wanna
interviews
know
well-known
birthdays.
models,
Culture.
politicians, athletes, entertainers,
Stop,
businessmen,
Google.
leaders.
Okay,
scientists,
Google, shut
and
up.
other newsmen.
That worked. Anyway, we'll look it up later. So anyway, yes.
Because like it lines up Candlemas or
The
Imbolc.
milk, yeah. In
Lines
milk.
up with like where the Virgin Mary was doing whatever she needed to do for the purity after the birth of Jesus.
Yeah. So it all ties in together.
It does kind
It's
of tie in neatly.
so and then there of course so there's the Christmas tree, there's what else? My mind is just blank right now.
It's blank. There's the Christmas tree. There's a lot of things that were pulled from pagan traditions, but that doesn't make them. It doesn't make the new traditions "quote unquote" wrong or anything. It just
and it's
the I hate to say new evolution because that makes it seem like that's the correct way to do things.
yeah.
But it was simply the evolution of the path that was at that time. So
And
the Christians took things and tried to make it fit into their thing
make it more
and make it more
family friendly.
or
Which Yule is for anyone is family friendly as
or
heck.
we all know about the Catholic Church trying to kind of like weed out the pagans.
Mm-hmm.
And so they would try and like point out what things would be pagan and what things would be good Christian.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if you were doing XYZ, that meant you were a good Christian. And if you were doing A, B, or C, you were a pagan.
Yes. And remember also witches celebrate Yule to also the give
the
hope.
birth of the sun.
And we're bringing in the light.
That's my
because-
favorite. My favorite way to celebrate it is the birth of the sun.
Me too. I like, and that's another part of the Christmas lights. They celebrate that there is hope. There's that light, and you need that during this time of year because it's so
freaking
dark,
dark.
and it gets dark so early. I mean, and look, this is my favorite time of year, but at the same time,
At the same time,
by
you
December,
open your door
by
or
Dec-
you open
yeah.
your window and you're like, "Is
Let's-
it midnight?"
Yeah.
And people are like, "No, it's 6."
and they
And
work
you're like,
it out.
"But it feels like
I
midnight."
know, and if you have seasonal depression, oh, sad. Which I think I have. I don't know. I've never been
Not
diagnosed.
diagnosed, but
yeah, but I think
yeah.
I do. Even though I love this time of year, but I'll tell you what. By December, I'm ready for the light, and
Yeah.
so it makes perfect sense. That's why in our house we put Christmas lights all over the front windows. It's like light.
Even the bringing in the greenery.
Take that. I'm gonna go rinse the glass. If you'd like to finish yours, I have a very nice dry.
Whose is this?
That's for you.
That was mine right there.
I'm gonna go rinse it and take it over.
I'm
to
thinking,
mine.
what is this? We're getting new wine.
So this is a sparkling Vouvray out of the Loire Valley.
Ooh.
Made with, made
Trade
with
out
the
my glass.
Chenin Blanc grapes. You can show it off. It's called Pure Loire.
We're celebrating 50 episodes, so there's no rhyme or reason. We're just clinking
That's
and
right.
drinking.
We have to go get clean glass.
I have no one to clink.
It's leaking. Thank you.
I will clink.
Clink
Yeah.
and drink.
Clinky.
I will drink.
Super dry, super yummy. Really nice flavors of lychee and
Please,
sage.
YouTube, do not screenshot my face. It will screenshot my face
What
on that
happened?
exact moment because I was like, it's dry.
Oh,
It's dry.
all right.
I'll
So-
give it more opportunities to be like,
So,
That's how YouTube works. The worse your face, the more likely it is to be the thumbnail.
yeah, I know. Mary Malinsky offered, we love you, Mary Malinsky, 50 episodes, turning 50, the importance of the sage and crone. So this is perfect because it is the crone time of year, the dark time of year. We usually relate your spring, your spring is
Like the
maiden, your summer is mother, and then you've got your queen in there if you do the four faces, and that's can be autumn,
like fall, yeah, which technically we're sort of in, but we're moving towards winter.
We're starting to get towards winter.
So it goes towards the crone.
Yeah, so we're getting into the crone.
Where that transition is.
And this is where everything's dark and silent and dead. Like it's just the trees. Everything is just.
She has the knowledge,
and she is the wise.
And whether
one.
or not she wants to share it with you is up to whether you're willing to listen.
Yes, because she knows if you aren't willing to listen,
she's not going to waste her energy.
She's not going to waste her energy. The crone.
She knows better.
And a lot of dark goddesses are crone related, and so I love the crone. Gosh.
I kind of wish there was sort of, and I'll go home and I'll find something that's totally related, but like I wish there was like a maiden dark goddess. Like I know that we have some.
Persephone can go from Crone to Persephone, so that's light, dark.
But she kind of straddles. She straddles
because there are some. I think there are some mother goddesses that can be fierce and dark when they need to be. Kali. So that's Kali. Yeah, I'm thinking of
because Hecate isn't necessarily the mother. I mean, that's sort of the thing that she.
Yeah, she's the three faces, but she's mostly in ways because of how she's been portrayed. They took her portrayal as the crone, the wicked witch, the evil witch.
Which is funny because historically she would have been seen, from what I have seen, she would have been seen as more the maiden aspect. Historically.
But she was also mother because she
transcends.
Yeah, it's just Hecate. We're not gonna. That's a whole nother show.
That is to her decide.
Yes. But so we've got the crone. The crone is that wise woman. And she is discarded, Baba Yaga. She's discarded. The crone is discarded in today's society because we view getting actually, let me take this back because I feel that in the pagan society we honor the crone. In the mundane world, and I don't know if any mundane muggles are watching this show. So if this is untrue to you, then don't take it personally. But in the mundane Muggle world, I feel that society discards our elderly, and the elderly woman with the gray hair and who's got all the wrinkles and who's even hunched over. They were like, oh. But I think it's also age because I think even when we were younger, we were like, I don't want to get old like that.
Okay, so I also have teenagers. I have teenage girls, and so we were talking a little bit about that dismissive, like okay boomer thing that's been going on. The okay boomer thing. The okay boomer thing is supposed to be meant as dismissive, but again, you're kind of poking at the crone, even if you're trying to poke it like white men.
Yes.
It's kind of what I feel like it's meant to be.
That's why I don't want to get into that because we could go on and on. But personally,
I wanted to poke to like.
No, and I was thinking that too. Yeah. So we're on the same wavelength. It's like we discard our elderly that they don't know anything and they're stuck and they're stuck in their ways.
It's the same thing as people who try and dismiss the younger generation of like you're too young to actually
dismiss the maiden. And I was just talking to my husband about that. We have kids that are in a new generation, and there are times when I'm ageist and I do the same thing with my kids. What the hell are they listening to? What these kids these days? I do it all the time. And I'm a Gen Xer, and Gen Xers are usually like, I don't care. I'm gonna listen to Nirvana and drink coffee and shit.
Technically millennial, but doesn't relate to millennials. I think I'm exennial.
You're exennial. What? I don't know what exennial.
Because it's the
Xennial.
Generation X
Xennial,
Xennial.
yeah. But
Your
but
Gen
even
X.
I can freely admit I'm ageist sometimes when it comes to younger
I-
people.
I'm not a huge fan of trying to
I just am,
put
and
the
I don't.
put the generations in a box.
Me neither, but I do,
I do.
and
We're all
and
guilty of it.
I'm guilty of it. And
it's
if
a human
there's
condition.
someone that's like, I'm never guilty of that, that might, and I'm gonna say this, it might be the younger generation. Wait till you get older, and you'll be saying the same shit when you're my
For the
age.
most part, because I do know plenty of people who have now grown up and are like, I don't identify. You're always going to have those outliers.
Yeah,
Like, I'm the Xennial. I don't identify with the millennials, and I don't identify with Gen X.
you're just right there.
I'm right in the middle.
Yeah,
Baby's
And I'm-
baby.
I'm old. I mean, I'm not old, but I'm 47. I'm at that age where, in a technical, chronological way,
Yeah.
my generation is right after the boomers. We bleed into it. Now I'm my age. I'm smack in the middle of Gen X, and I know people are like, "Ugh, stop with the labels," but we're labeling, so get over it. I'm smack in the middle of Gen X, so I can't even say, well, I'm almost boomer or I'm almost millennial.
Whereas
I'm like,
mine, theoretically, I believe, because I took a quiz, because I have teenagers, I got put in the age of the guest is 19. I
yeah,
have teenagers. This is why.
this is why
I would have been put into old as fuck millennial. Because that's where I am. And that's where the
It's
Xennial-
Lindsay, it's Nimir. Let's clink and drink to Nimir. Clink and drink to you and drink some wine and hooty hoo. Mm. So yeah. Anyway, so we're talking about the Crone. And we're not saying we had to put a thing out to the OK Boomer because we're talking about Crone and we want to respect our elders and pagan community for the most part. We are brought up in a way
I have literally
respects the Crone.
I've seen both sides where I've seen people who are boomers who are hurt by the OK Boomer phrase.
Yeah.
And I've seen people who are younger who are like, well, OK Boomer, because I'm trying to dismiss your thought process on the younger generations.
Yep.
But the thing is, it's nothing new. This has been happening for millennia. It's what every generation
It doesn't make it right and it doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah.
But let me tell you a quick story. What made me kind of come to the realization that, I'm like, I love everybody, blah, blah. But there was a part of me that's like, yeah, I'm a little ageist. And I have a 16-year-old son who has a friend who they're really worried about his mental health. And there's been talk of suicide and whatnot. And for a while I would sit back and I'm not going to lie. I would be like, my God, you kids got it made. Back in my day, I did it. Back in my day. I never said it to my kids, but I thought it. Back in my day, But
when I was your age, I walked school uphill both ways
in the snow with no boots. Okay, now barefoot and pregnant. Wait, no, not at 16. Anyway,
some of us are closer to that than others.
Or a couple of years later,
17.
But with my siblings on my back. So, yeah, and so I started thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? I have to, and a lone wolf stalking me. Absolutely. So I had to be like, I had to really start talking about this because this was affecting my son. And he was like, my friend is this, I don't know what to do. And I was like, there's so much stress with the kids these days. They're exposed to everything and they've got more stress. They have stress on different levels than I can't relate to from when I was their age. So I need to honor that. And that's what got me to just this in the last few days. I was like, I need to understand that my time of that I'm done.
Not my heart.
I'm done with that. I've lived through my hard times and now I'm here to help you. And so when I focus on that as a parent and as my son, because he was upset. He's like, I'm worried about my friend. And I said, this is not, I would never, because I was like, okay, the usual mind would be like, oh, what does he have to worry about? You guys, but I'm like, no, that's suicide. That's mental health. I can't joke about that. I can't diminish that or belittle it. And that is what got me on the okay boomer, seeing both sides.
Yeah.
Because we can't, everyone has their stresses. Every generation is going to have it. Every generation is going to have that.
You're going to find, that's why the crone is associated with wisdom. Because the crone has been through it. She has seen some shit.
Yes.
So you need to honor that as a younger person. And then the crone
needs to honor the maidens.
Ideally should honor the younger generation for the new energy that they bring to the scene.
Because we can't stop it. I can't stop the new energy. I can't stop.
This okay boomer thing is nothing new. And
it's
that's
nothing new.
The thing that bugs
but I
me
don't
the
want to
most.
belittle it and say it's not important, because it is important.
Because it's
very
the
important.
Same thing as going back. If you go into the way back time machine and going to the 60s, where people are like, oh my God, those hippies, those yuppies.
Which are the boomers now, by the way.
Now,
they were all hippies. But anyway, so we couldn't help but bring okay boomer when we're talking about crone energy, because there's
that's
current, what it is.
It's the current thing.
It's I mean, I don't want to simplify it, but we
have to, because we're on a limited time frame.
We're on a limited time frame. We could go into the depths and the different levels and the many layers of all of the ages.
It's like an ogre or an onion. It has layers.
It has layers.
Layers.
So yeah, so Namara, you were joining us. We were bringing up clink and drink.
We're gonna clink and drink again.
Clink and drink.
Because we love you.
Oh, I made that. That was like slow motion break. Oh yeah. So Crone, honor your elders, honor your crones in your life. And you know what? Sometimes your crones in your life could be you at 20. You have crone in you, just like me at 47. I have maiden in me.
Every person has every single aspect.
We have all the aspects. We have it. So honor it. I think that would actually help the divide in this okay boomer, is if each side honored, if the boomers honored the maidens in themselves, and the millennials,
Gen
Z honored the maidens.
It's both. Honored the crones within themselves.
Yes, the various markers of the cycles. You don't have to be old and decrepit to be a crone. But I'm going to tell you, looking at my mother, she's not old and decrepit. She's old. She's 79. But looking at her, how she's handling everything with my dad and all this stuff, she is the true meaning of crone. But the other day at a Red Tent talk, when Dee was talking about the queen, I brought up my mom and said, my mom's a queen, because she still's a queen to me too. So it just goes to show you
every
that
single one of us has the maiden, the mother, the queen
and the crone. Yep.
Within us. It doesn't matter what age you are, because you learn from the others outside of yourself.
Yes.
So as a maiden, you may not know fully the queen role or the crone role, but you know how your mother or your auntie
or someone who's influential in your life
would react to that situation.
Yeah.
So that's where we take our personal interpretation of things, but it's still valid.
Absolutely. And we are put in situations in our life where we have to take on that role.
You have to tap into those.
And so, I mean, I know that there were times in my 20s when I was taking on a crone role, because I needed to be there for someone and give them guidance and give them my wisdom, which I never thought I had at that age.
Because like maiden mother crone gets a lot of flack, for lack of a better term, because not every woman is a mother, but you are in certain aspects.
Oh, let's check out of our tumblers too. Check these out. They say, what do they say?
Basic witch.
Basic witch.
I don't know how well it's going to
You probably can't see them, but we're drinking wine out of a tumbler.
This is our card, Birdo. box wine is not Cardboardo. It's now Cardboardo.
2 drink minimum to watch our show. So we talked about Crone. We have no other things to talk about. Namer, do you want to ask us a question?
Do we have nothing else? I thought there was one more thing.
No, I think that's it. It was Yule, and yeah, we didn't have a whole lot.
No.
Namer, do you have something you want to ask us, or
We are open to questions.
we're open? Question. It's
Suggestions.
question time. It's question time. Guess what? It's question time. Witches and wine. Question time. Ask your question anytime. Whoa! Wow.
I'm just gonna let you own that one. That is yours.
It is all mine.
That is Lola Starduste of the Starduste clan.
Hey, she's
That
impressed.
was too impressive.
Yes.
We did it on
Hey,
wine.
do you guys have any questions? Our husbands are in the back. You guys, we're gonna wrap up here. Males.
Males.
Do you have any questions or anything you want to talk about in the next
What do you want to
few
talk
minutes?
about?
So I would just like to say, I thank each and every one of you for following these episodes and commenting, and we appreciate you guys for following our show, and we would love to have each and every one of you contribute what you can. What are you saying, pointing at, honey?
Oh, Namer wants to know what's your witches and wine schedule. Okay, so originally it was every Friday night, just at around this time.
Around this time.
Around this time, but like life got in the way, but we're gonna try. Let's set a goal. Let's manifest
Let's
this.
set our intention for the day.
Our intention. Let's set, as we got some of our children of the crossroads. Let's join our hands.
We have half of us here.
We have half of us here. Oh, did you knock
Nope,
shit
you're
over?
Do
Okay.
not knock shit over.
Did I knock shit over?
You're good. Nothing broke.
Okay.
Nothing broke.
No breaking.
All right.
All right. We are
To
going to
the left.
manifest every Friday night. We will do witches and wine. Ready?
Every Friday night,
we will do witches and wine. One more time. Every Friday night, we will do witches and wine. Third time. Every Friday night, we will do witches and wine. Woo! There's your schedule.
So
You got
So,
a
okay,
crossroads
before they
coming.
get sidetracked anymore,
Sure woo.
they asked for my input.
Yes.
It's this simple. Don't sweat the petty things. Pet the sweaty things.
You are not allowed to use my uncle's advice on witches and wine.
You are not allowed to say
That is
anything
my thing.
when I have
Hey.
wine in my mouth.
hey, you know what? Bullshit.
So, all right, we're going to wrap it up. But hey, Namer, in about, I would say, what time is it? Because we're going to do an after party. We do after parties.
Party.
Where we
bring
do-
wine cards?
She's got wine cards
They
in
should
her.
be in with the laptop.
I
case
snooped. I
anyway,
saw
yeah.
them. So it's 9:49. So about 10:15 tonight. So that's in 25 minutes. We're going to do
It's
our
enough
after
time for
party.
a potty break,
potty
and a wine
break and
refill.
wine refill. We do an after party. We don't publish these. We just put them in our, if you follow our YouTube, we don't
Or
advertise
Facebook.
these because the after party is exactly what you know it is. That we pick a wine card, we drink wine, we listen to music, and we get crazy. So if you want to join us in 25 minutes at 10:15, we're going to do our after party. I want to thank everybody for watching our 50th episode. Our 50th episode!
5-0 or 0-5, depending on how you read that. I just feel like
5-0. 5-0, just in case. Namer, join us in 25 minutes.
It is our 50th episode, and we had really good wine, and now it's gone, and I'm really sad because
And
it was
I've
really
got
good.
wine in a plastic tumbler.
Now
with a
we
straw.
have our Cardboardo. Cardboardo is still good, but
So,
it kind of sucks compared to the other
Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about, oh yes, do that.
More wine.
What you
Ooh,
said,
a little
Namer.
dribble.
Hold on. Catch up
Oh,
all that shit.
I will have the last
If you have
Keep
any
dripping.
questions for us, if you're like, what do you guys do? Or why are you the way you are? Or why?
Some of those questions
Why?
we may not answer.
Then
Some we
please,
may answer, some we may not.
please,
It is up to our discretion.
please email us at,
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
what was that again?
crossroadscoven@gmail.com.
So until next time, remember, be kind to one another, walk with the goddess, and until next time, blessed be. Bye, y'all. Yay! We love you. Why?
Why not?